So hello, this is day three. I'm trying to learning speaking or learn speaking English. So this is the same article. So yeah, day three part one. So it's gonna be 10 minutes, and I'm gonna upload it twice. I guess yeah, cause 15 minutes for per day is not very useful, I guess, or efficient. So yeah, this is the first article. World Tourism Day. World Tourism Day on 27 September is about deciding the tourism we want for the future. That means thinking not just about the economy but also about the impact on people and the planet. Every year on 27 September, sorry about that, the United Nations World Tourism Day is celebrated. It began in 1980 and the event is hosted by a different country or group of countries every year. On World Tourism Day, United Nations called for investment in people and the planet, not just economic productivity. Why do we need World Tourist Day? It might seem curious that tourism has its own special day, but maybe it's not so surprising when you think of the enormous number of people employed in this sector. Tourism and travel is one of the world's biggest industries. According to 2019 research, over 333 million people, that's about 1 in 10 working people worldwide, were employed in tourism and travel. Now, this huge global industry is growing again after the pandemic, creating serious issue for people and the planet. How does tourism affect local people? With mass tourism, fascinating places are becoming overwhelmed by millions of tourists. Enormous tour bus block roads and make getting to school or work difficult for residents. International chains take over from local business. Tourist apartments take over from ordinary housing. And rising price force local people out of their homes. Barcelona in Spain and Venice in Italy are two examples of places where the local population have demand the tourism is controlled more tightly in Barcelona. The regulation related to short-term rental accommodation were introduced to help local people have access to flats. In Venice, the number of large cruise liners entering the port is now controlled to protect the historic city and its natural environment from further damage. Locals also complain about the huge crowd of cruise passengers. We were putting pressure on the city resource but contributing little to the economy. Maybe tourism in the 20th, 21st century will continue to be regulated to protect people and local environments. How does tourism affects the environment? Mass tourism is bad news for our planet too. The industry destroys natural habitats to build tourist facilities and consume large amount of energy and natural resources, such as land, soil, and water. Pollution is also a negative consequence of travel and tourism, including solid waste and sewage pollution, noise pollution, and air pollution. Carbon emission from tourism, tourist, tourism, tourism are more than 5% of global emission, and this figure is going up. The tourism and travel industry continues to contribute to the climate crisis. Can we be responsible tourists? In the word of Bruce Pontip, producer of the documentary The Last Tourist, travel is a privilege, not a right. The Last Tourist encourage us to be the conscious consumer when deciding where and how to travel. As tourists, we need to think more carefully about the impact of our choice. If we decide to stay at a beautiful resort, who is going to benefit from our money? Is the hotel owned by people from the local community? and how can we minimize our contribution to pollution and climate change. To protect the beautiful place we love to visit and the people who live in them, we need to rethink tourism and act responsibly. Wait. My smartphone is locked. So let's see here. So the first article is 5 minutes. So let's start to the second article. So this is the second article. Let's get started. The International Day of Peace. The International Day of Peace is on 21 September. It's a day that aims to reduce violence and to strengthen the ideals of peace around the world. With so many people around the world suffering as a result of war and violence, the International Day of Peace is important as ever. This special day, which was declared by United Nations in 1981, is observed on 21 September every year. The International Day of Peace at the United Nations at the International Day of Peace at the United Nations. On International Peace Day, the United Nations asks for a 24-hour ceasefire of all hostilities around the world. It also asks people to observe 1 minute of silence at noon to honor victims of war and violence. The day begins with the Peace Bell ceremony at the United Nations headquarters. The Peace Bell was donated by the United Nations Association of Japan in June 1954 and is made of metal that includes coin contributed by people from 65 member countries. The bell is a symbol of hope for peace and is rung several times a year, including on too fast, including on International Peace Day. After the bell has been rung, the UN Secretary General delivers a message. The purpose of the International Day of Peace. The International Day of Peace is for commemorating and strengthening the ideals of peace within and among all nations and peoples. Put simply, it aims to build a more peaceful world for everyone who lives in it. Peace affects almost every aspect of our lives. Each year, the United Nations chooses a different theme for this special day. For example, end racism, build peace, or climate action for peace. This helps us to see that true peace can only be achieved when all people are treated equally, or that we must combat the climate emergency which threatens all of our life. International Day of Peace events. As well as taking part in 1 minute silence at midday local time, people in cities, towns, and villages worldwide can get involved in many different events on this special day. This could be in the field of the arts with photography, music, or dance. It could be sport activities such as football match or match for peace, or it could be yoga, meditation, and prayers. Children and teenagers also take part in a wide range of activities related to peace and unity, often focusing on preventing school violence and bullying. International Day of Peace online. With the international and social media, there is a lot more awareness of International Peace Day than back in 1981. Social media posts sharing information, ideas, and peace messages reach millions of people all over the globe. There are many online events where people can register for on the day, such as live show, conference, and workshop. What we can all do for peace. The International Day of Peace isn't just about ending international conflicts. It is also about changing our behavior towards each other and our environment. For example, we can try to bring peace to our personal life by saying sorry and making peace with someone we know. Individual action add up to great things when they are multiplied by millions of people all over the planet. And we can all contribute to making the world a more peaceful day. So this is day 3 part 1. I'm learning to speaking English, so I hope I can be consistent to record and upload it to my journey speaking English. So this is the day 3 part 1. So yeah, see you on the part 2. Yeah.